How's it going, guys? So today we're making some new enclosures because these ones behind me are a bit old and I want some upgrades as well as just some extra enclosures in case I get some new animals. So I'm hopefully going to upgrade the pygmy bearded dragon that's living in that one at the moment, and it's just going to be a much nicer look. They're going to be the same size as these ones, they're actually a bit taller, and it's just going to fit a lot better. So let's get building. So we've just come back from good old Bunnings and we've picked up a bunch of this stuff. This is formply. It's only $11 per sheet. It's really good, really durable. It's got that sort of coating on it as well that's going to keep it, make it last good. Got some screws as well as some wheels to put it on later. So we're just going to screw all this together. Obviously you have to cut some of it down to size, and then we're just going to screw it together, and it's going to be that easy. So we've got 8 sheets of this formply, and that's going to be enough to make this double bay enclosure. So first we're just screwing the top and sides together, and on the bottom and top here we've just drilled some little holes as guidance so that nothing slips. Using the pre-drilled holes, hold it together, put the screw in, simply screw it in. These sheets are actually 1200 long by 600 high, and so we've just made a giant square of them all together. That's going to be our top, bottom and side. So because we've made our big 1200 by 600 square, the middle shelf as well as the back are going to have to be cut down to fit inside it. So in order for the back of the enclosure to fit between the two sides, we simply have to cut off double of what the thickness of the wood is, because that's what each side is. So here we're just making sure the piece fits, so it fits nice and snug in between. And so we're going to do another bit like this, and then the middle shelf we're going to do like this as well, but also cut some off the front. So we've cut all our back pieces and our middle ledge as well. Then all around the outside again we've pre-drilled some holes, and we're going to screw it all in. So now we have our whole unit together, all screwed together. All we're going to do now is add a little lip on the front to hold the substrate in, and we're going to just make that about 100 mil. Then from there we'll add on our tracks for our sliding doors, and we'll also silicone all the gaps here so everything's sealed. Makes it so much easier to move the entire thing. So for this setup we're going to have sliding glass doors, and for that you need some tracks. So these are just from Bunnings, the plastic tracks, and I'm just going to cut them to size and glue them in. So there we have our bottom track and our top track. Now you want to have the top track as the larger one of the two, so that when you slot in your glass you can slot up into there and then drop into the bottom. guys, so here we have the finished enclosure in all its glory. So this thing turned out really well, and it actually only cost us about $230 for everything, excluding the lighting, of course. So that basically went into 8 sheets of the formply. They're only $11 each. The sliding doors, so these are actually perspex or acrylic. This is just from Bunnings, and that was about $50 for all of that. And if you're going to house a snake in an enclosure like this, I wouldn't use that because this stuff is a bit flexy, so snakes could probably push out of it, so I'd go for glass for that. But we had that, and we had the tracks, which weren't that expensive, 2 of those. We also had silicone for everything, and the wheels, of course, down below, which help us move the entire thing around really easy because it's a bit heavy. The only thing that didn't factor into that is the vents. So we already had a bit of screen left over that we put over the vents, so factoring all that other stuff in, you're probably looking at around $250 for this whole thing. And then when it comes to the lighting, that's going to cost a fair bit more, obviously, depending on what you're using. So for these T5 units, they can be, $50 to $100, and then the light itself, depending on what you're going to use. And then of course the ceramic fittings for a heat light, they can vary in price, you just have to look online. But overall you get a really good amount for what you pay. It's going to be a great long lasting enclosure with that formply. It's got that protective coating over the top, so it stops any water getting in or any damage like that. It also makes it a lot easier to clean. So leave any questions or comments below. Make sure you give the video a like if you liked it. As you can see, I've already made a rock background in the back of this top enclosure. If you'd like to see the full build and how I made that, that'll be coming after this video, so check the link. It'll be right here when it's up. And then if you also want to see me set up these enclosures for the animals, check out the video that'll pop up right here. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe for more Australian reptiles, and I'll see you next time.